Hey everybody, I'm prepping some pallet wood to make coffee coasters. Now I have somebody I can trust, Melanie, and she's got artistic talents. She's going to wood burn these. We got to get the sander out and prep them. So I'm going to cut them to the right sizes today for her, and then she's going to have, I bought her a wood burner, and she's going to hand burn the Off-Grid Project logo and the name in each coffee coaster, and then she's going to do all the finishing work. So all I've got to do is prep all these and cut them to the right sizes, and then she can get to work on that. Hopefully we'll get these out before the holidays so people can buy them and give them as gifts or have them for whatever. So I'm using the Husqvarna set because it's got the face mask and ear protection built in. It's so convenient. So that one's no good. Get out of my way. There's a piece. Now these have too many nails and pieces of wood attached. They'll be too messed up. For our purposes, that one's too rough. So there are a few pieces. And then I'll prep a bunch of them and then I'll start cutting them. Be back in a few minutes. Okay, now I'm going to square one end on each piece of wood to prepare it. Just want to square it off so we have a good edge. I'm going to set that up in a certain way so I know that that's a square edge. And then we can go on with the chop saw, and the process will go fast after that. It's a crack. Alright, well, I'm going to finish these up. You don't have to watch me do them all. want to cut all these up. Got a nice pile there. That's good.
Stop.
Oh, Felix, look at the camera.
It's the camera.
Hi, Felix.
This is our baby.
Hi, everybody. Troy and
Melanie and Felix.
Hi, everybody from the Do-It-Yourself world and the Off-Grid Project. Don't forget to get the Off-Grid Project t-shirt while you still can, so they can be delivered in time for the holidays. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's a nice pile of coffee coaster blanks. Now we're going to take the nicer side of each, whichever side we choose, and we're going to smooth it out and round off the edges and corners with the belt sander I have here. And then I'll pass them on to Melanie for the wood burning phase, and then we'll do the varnishing and staining as needed. Hey guys, well, I've been experimenting with different ideas using the sander or the planer. Well, obviously the planer should have been done before I cut them into pieces, because it won't go through there very well, but that's for future, for longer pieces. The sander works nicely, but it's 120 grit and it's too fine, so I have to get some 80 grit for that. So I think everything's on hold for now. That's just way too fine for taking on roughing this off, or roughing this up, and getting these pits out of there. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, we'll come back to that later after I get some sandpaper, but at least I got a bunch of chunks done up, and Melanie can practice wood burning. Hey everybody, I got the plastic in the raised bed. Put some slits in the bottom to allow for drainage. So now we can put soil in there and get our peas and beans in. Later I'm going to come back out here and empty out this section and put plastic in there as well, and then we can get dirt in there and start planting. It looks like we have powdery mildew in here as well. So I'm suffering the full range of attacks out here in the greenhouse already. I haven't even finished putting it together. Good evening, everybody. Actually, if this was summer, I'd be saying good afternoon. It's only 6:30. I'd call that late afternoon, not evening. But in winter, it looks like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Anyway, besides working on hunting preparations, tomorrow is opening day of hunting 2016. I've been getting all my gear ready for hunting. I've also been working in the greenhouse with Melanie. I'll show you what we've been up to. And right now I'm working on the truck, but I wanted to grab the camera before I get behind. So, this is going to be exciting, everybody. Check this out. You may notice something here plugged in. And up there. And shut off my headlamp. We've got light in the greenhouse. Now, I think that's going to get brighter. That's a 5-watt compact fluorescent light bulb that came with the Harbor Freight kit. I'm hoping it gets brighter. Generally they get brighter as they warm up, because right now it's more like a nightlight. Yeah, it looks like it's getting a little brighter. But anyway, you can see in the greenhouse. For anything we have to do, I think it'd be fine. I'm going to leave that on for a minute and just see if it does warm up. But 2 of them will probably give us enough light to work in here for and to extend our working hours. I have the Clen battery desulfator on my greenhouse solar battery bank, and these are amazing batteries. The voltage is at 12.5 at rest with my cell phone plugged in and on pause, and with the light turned on. Although the Clen might give me a higher voltage. There's resistance in the wires of the Harbor Freight charge controller. 12.7, yeah, so 12.8. So there's resistance in the wires to the Harbor Freight charge controller. So I think this will be a much more efficient system. See, this is saying 12.5. I think this would be a much more efficient system if I put bigger wires to the battery bank from the Harbor Freight controller. Now that is the standard wires that came with it, but I just think that there must be resistance in the lines for that to give me an off voltage. Anyway, looking pretty good for like ancient batteries. They're at least 5 to 7 years old minimum, because I bought them I think 3 years ago. At least I've had them for a good 2 to 3 years, and they were at the scrap metal yard when I got them, so they're pretty good. They're holding up well. It is getting brighter in here. It's getting a little brighter. You could work in here comfortably. You can do what you need to do. Now over here, everybody, I'll use my headlight. We have 2 more filled raised beds. Melanie, Chris, and I. Chris showed up for a while today, and the 3 of us got 6 wheelbarrow loads of soil into these 2 beds. So I lined it with plastic earlier, and then all 3 of us were hauling wheelbarrow loads. Now, what we have here is some soil from a cow pasture that's aged for a year, 2 years. Scraped off a cow pasture, so it had cow pies and all kinds of stuff, and that was aged for 2 years. And then we took this, this is from leaf piles that we had aging all year. And you can see it's all broke up into this fine, powdery, almost powdery, and it's very, very rich smelling. And we're going to plant directly into that for our peas and beans, for our winter greenhouse garden. So, we're looking pretty good. Looking good out here, everybody. Okay, I have to go on to the next project that I'm working on right now, and I'll take you with me. Oh wait, as I turned around, I'm like, oh wow, that really got brighter. Yeah, those compact fluorescent light bulbs take a while to warm up, but yeah, that's nice. I can see very well in here now. So, yeah, 2 of them will be perfect for working in here. Look at that. Perfect. You can do anything you want with 2 of those. And there's 2 sockets on the Harbor Freight charge controller. Now, as a charge controller, the Harbor Freight charge controller is garbage and will ruin your batteries long term. So that's going to be replaced as a solar charge controller. But as a multiple output universal coolness device, I love it. It's got everything. I love it. It's got 3 volts, 6 volts, 2 12-volt plug-in sockets, guitar-type plug-in sockets for your lights that come with the kit. It's got 2 cigarette lighter outputs and a USB output, plus a voltmeter. I mean, that is just really amazing device for that. No good as a charger, but it's a really, really nice device for all the outputs in it. I love them for that. Alright guys, let's get on outside and I'll show you what I'm doing out there. Hey everybody, before I was called to dinner, I've been working out here on the truck, and I'm removing the alarm system, which is useless. They actually had an on-off switch on the dash for the alarm system. Really not a good idea. Not a wise thing to do. So I want to put a cigarette lighter outlet in here so that I can, I think when they hooked up all this junk in the truck, they messed up the cigarette lighter that came with it. And instead of ripping apart the whole dash, which I don't like to do, I'm going to work on this with the existing wires. There's wires. This is all for the alarm system. It's madness in here. Absolute madness, all these wires. So all of these 2 relay boxes had connections into my door, controls, my lock, and my window controls, and all the stuff that was wired into all that. There's wires going up into the dash. There's wires going into power, which I don't know why they had this massive thing going into 2 fuses with 2 lines. There's 3 wires coming out of here. A red, black, and a white. Now the red has power. Alright, I don't know if you can see that. The red has power. Okay, so that's where I'm going to put my cigarette lighter plug. But first, now that I've got this alarm out, it goes inside, I think, to a ground. I don't know, I think that's a ground. I'm not even sure what that is, to be honest. What does this say? Your Valet, model 552T. This probably had a remote start and all kinds of amazing stuff. Your Valet, model 552T. I'm going to look that up on the internet. I'm not going to take out everything fully, although there is a broken wire here. Must have been inside one of these things. The problem is I don't know. It looks like it might have come out of this one. I'm not going to entirely disconnect everything for now, so that if I decide that it is something I want to keep, that would be cool to have. You know, if it has a remote starter and all kinds of cool things, features on it that I like, then I'll keep that option open. There's some jumpers in there. Oh good, that, well no I can't. There's 2 wires going into that, so I don't want to just cut that. There's 2 wires going in there. So, yeah, that's not going to be as simple. I don't want to just cut anything. Because if it is something that might be usable, it might be fun, and maybe I can get remote control for it, get it going again, it might be cool to have. So anyway, all these wires everywhere. They ripped out the carpeting in here. They had holes through the firewall. I mean, they really integrated it deeply into this truck. So all I want to do, see, it's not all hooked up, unfortunately, though, I don't think. I don't know if it'll ever run again, because there's all these wires that come out from under the front that went onto this switch. And that, well, maybe that's not part of this unit. I don't know. Maybe that's a separate thing. Chris theorizes, but it goes through the same hole. Chris theorizes there could have been some, that's a ground. Could have been some external lights or something, but that goes up inside. I can't find where it runs up inside the under the hood. So, oh, there's Chris there. What do you think of this hack job, Chris?
I think the guy should be taken out back and beat with a hose that installed it.
Yeah, because there was actually one of these wires was jammed into jammed into this fuse block. It just jammed in. Pretty crazy. So, yeah, whoever did all this system in here, the wiring and all this stuff in this truck, really did a slop job. It is a sloppy mess of a job. There's fuses in here and all kinds of junk. Just a mess. So I'm going to have to figure out all that junk later one day. I'm going to have to tie it all up together in a mass. Because what I want... Oops, I lost the one wire that I do want right here. What I want is this wire. I'm going to come off and branch into that. And then tape all this together. Because that goes to the alarm system. Anyway, guys. Now I've got pretty much figured out what's what here. I am going to have a cigarette lighter in my truck. So, I won't bore you with all the details. It's not a big deal. I'm just got to figure out how to mount it. Get it up in here off the floor. And hook in the wires. I just wanted to tell you what I'm up to. Show you what I'm doing. And what kind of a mess I'm dealing with in here. Hey everybody, this is Troy and
Melanie,
from the Do-It-Yourself world and
the Off-Grid Project.
Please subscribe and follow our daily videos as we strive to become self-sufficient and off the grid on a budget. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks for watching.